Alrighty folks, now time has come. We are going to get some life onto this airport, get ourselves organized, and hopefully it's not going to be too difficult. So again, we're going to be using runway 28 right for arrivals. We have 28 left for departures, one left, one right, possibly as well. Yeah, probably everything that's down here. We're just going to push down here, everything up across up here. We do not have a schedule signed up to you where everything will go crazy. It's not. It should be good. So we might as well start off straight away with our Concorde flight. Speedbird 3, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left via Alpha Foxtrot.
Ground 28 left via Alpha Foxtrot, pushback approved. Speedbird 3.
And we're just behind here. Let's look over. And let's turn this baby off. Not much happening at the moment, so hope you guys really will enjoy these views. It's just fabulous. Bringing back the memories. So in later videos, most probably I will implement the odd one or two old aircrafts, airliners, and maybe even do a schedule with, like, say 5, 6, 7, 8 Pan Am aircraft. So maybe put it down in the comment section on what you would like me to do. What is your favorite airline? I need some feedback here, folks. So we have an interesting schedule here. We're going at a 2-minute rate. That'll give us opportunities to check out these aircrafts and see how they move and depart and everything.
Ground Argentina 4 heavy, request pushback.
Okay,
Tower.
let's move
Speedbird
over.
4 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
There we go, we have our first arrivals coming in as well. This is going to be interesting.
Ground Speedbird 3, request taxi runway 28 left.
Speedbird 3, runway 28 left via Alpha Foxtrot. Did that work? Speedbird 3, runway 28 left. Is he moving?
Runway 28 left. Speedbird 3.
Argentina 4 heavy, pushback approved. Expect. Oh, here we go. Argentina 4 heavy. Incorrect. What did I do wrong? Argentina, pushback approved. No. Argentina 4 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Say again. Argentina 4 heavy.
Yeah, that was my fault.
Ground 28 left, pushback.
Argentina
approved.
doesn't
Argentina
understand
4 heavy.
Argentina. No possible. Impossible. So we've got our Speedbird coming in, which is going to be quite interesting because I don't actually have a spot for him at the moment. It'll be interesting to see where he's going to move, because I do have British Airways down the bottom here. Now we know this is a 747-200, Boeing 747-200. I'm not going to go into details on how long and when and if and what. I did that in the other video that I have. So you want to check those out? Check that video out. And we have our Speedbird coming in. Here we go.
New Zealand 5 heavy, request pushback.
And
Tower.
New Zealand is ready
Argentina
as well.
7 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
New Zealand 5 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground 28 left, pushback approved. New Zealand 5 heavy.
Also, one Argentina is coming in, the other one is leaving. That's always good. Have the same amount of South Americans in the country. Always important.
Ground. Argentina 4 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Argentina 4 heavy, runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima.
Runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima. Argentina 4 heavy.
Argentina 4 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Argentina 4 heavy.
Speedbird 3, hold short of runway 28 left. Let's have a look at our Concorde.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Speedbird 3.
And we're going to have a first glimpse at our Speedbird arrival. Speedbird 5-4 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land. Wind is 33 at 4 knots. Still too far
Runway
out.
28 right, clear to land. Speedbird 5-4 heavy.
Let's get back to our Concorde. And check it out. I don't think the Concorde has ever landed in San Francisco, but I can be proven to be wrong. Has there ever been a Concorde in San Francisco? You let me know. Hope everybody's doing good. I'd like to bring out a large thank you very much for all the new subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we have our San Francisco terminals in the back. If I could turn back time, well, today we can.
New Zealand 5-8 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Olympic 6 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Olympic 6 heavy.
So our Olympic.
New Zealand 5 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Our Olympic is a 747-200 as well. New Zealand 5 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. New Zealand 5 heavy.
New Zealand 5 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. New Zealand 5 heavy.
Okie dokie. Our Concorde is moving on his quest to depart, and we have our arrival of our first aircraft, which is a 747-100. It's the Boak. There we go. So let's have a check out. Look at the mirrory view, so you can see it down below. See the shadows. Okay, dokie. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. Our first arrival for the day. And welcome to San Francisco Airport. I wonder where he's going to park. It's going to be very, very interesting. We shall see. Argentina 5-7 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land. Wind is 33 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to
Okay,
land.
so he
Argentina
is moving
5-7
into
heavy.
the spot in the back there. Just sort of wondering if there is actually room. This is going to be interesting. I believe that place is not available as yet. Speedbird 5-4 heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Speedbird 5-4 heavy.
Speedbird 5-4 heavy, hold short of taxiway Charlie.
Ground. Delta 7 heavy request pushback. Hold short of taxiway Charlie. Speedbird 5-4 heavy.
Speedbird 3, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Tower, Olympic 5-9er heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Delta 7 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Speedbird 3.
Olympic 6 heavy, runway 28 left via Bravo. Nope, we don't want to do that. Definitely.
Ground.
Olympic 6 heavy, runway 28 left via Alpha.
Heavy.
That's better.
Unable taxi, will advise when ready.
Yes,
Olympic 6 heavy.
my fault.
Ground,
Okay, let's have a look
Olympic
and
6 heavy
see.
request taxi runway 28
Okay, it
right.
looks like we have a capacity there. Okay, that's good. The left-hand side is where the Condor was sitting. We can... oh, that's wrong. Okay, good. Excellent. Speedbird 3, wind is 33 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Alright, folks, let's
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Speedbird 3.
check the departure of our Concorde. There you go. New Zealand in the back. Argentina. And off she goes. London Heathrow, the destination in the end. Not right now. Don't worry about where he's going now.
Ground. Caledonian 8 heavy request pushback.
Okie dokie.
Tower, Delta 60 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Let's get back to business. Turn everything back on. Caledonian 8 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left. Argentina 57 heavy taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Caledonian 8 heavy.
Olympic 6 heavy runway 28 left.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Argentina 57 heavy.
New Zealand 58 heavy runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 32 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 left, Olympic 6 heavy.
Olympic 5 9 heavy runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 32 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land. New Zealand 58 heavy.
New Zealand 5 heavy, wind is 32 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Olympic 5 9er heavy.
Runway 28 left cleared for
We've
takeoff.
got the two New Zealands
Zealand
here.
5 heavy. Ground. Delta
Close
7
to
heavy request taxi
towards
runway
each other.
28 left.
Delta 7 heavy, runway 28 left, continue taxi. Delta 7 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Delta 7 heavy.
Delta 7 heavy, runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima, Foxtrot.
Runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot. Delta 7 heavy.
Okay, did he get it? Yep. Delta 7 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Delta 7 heavy.
Speedbird 3, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good day. Speedbird 3.
Olympic has got his go, he's all good. New Zealand 5-8 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. New Zealand 58 heavy.
New Zealand 5-8 heavy, hold short of taxiway Charlie.
Ground. Critter 9er request pushback. Hold short of taxiway Charlie Echo. New Zealand 58 heavy.
Critter 9 pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Tower. Caledonian 6-1 heavy inbound runway 28 right. Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Critter 9er. Ground. Caledonian 8 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
New Zealand 5-8 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. New Zealand 58 heavy.
Caledonian 8 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Caledonian 8 heavy.
Argentina 4 heavy. Yeah, actually, I'm sort of wondering why this is better. Oh, we got our next arrival coming in. Always very nice. Olympic in the back. Coming from Athens. Argentina 4 heavy. Wind is 32 at 4 knots. Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Argentina 4 heavy.
New Zealand 5 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good day. New Zealand 5 heavy.
So Critter, what's up with you? Are you moving? Or do you need a little push? There's our value jet. Olympic 6 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left. Olympic 6 heavy, continue taxi.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Olympic 6 heavy.
Olympic 6 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Olympic 6 Heavy. Hold short of runway 28 left, Olympic 6 Heavy.
Delta 60 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 32 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Delta 60 Heavy.
Ground, all Nippon 10 Heavy request pushback.
All Nippon 10 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Critter 62 inbound runway 28 right. Ground, 28 left pushback approved, all Nippon 10 Heavy.
Olympic. Okay, yes, I remember, Menno. I will wait till the aircraft has gone past. Olympic 59er Heavy, continue taxi. Actually, we need to tell him to go to Olympic 59er Heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Continue taxi, Olympic 59er Heavy.
Olympic 59er Heavy, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Olympic 59er Heavy. Continue taxi, Olympic 59er Heavy.
Ground, Critter 9er request taxi runway 28 left.
Critter 9er, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Critter 9er.
So our Critter is a DC 93, is a Douglas DC 9 30. Argentina 4 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good day, Argentina 4 Heavy.
Caledonian 6-1 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 32 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Caledonian 6-1 Heavy.
So why isn't the camera working anymore? It's turned on now. So let's see if it works here. All Nippon 10 Heavy. Here we go. Now we got a... It's a lot better. And we have a L101 Lockheed L1011 TriStar. Got quite a few of these. Critter 8 Heavy. No, that's not it. Caledonian 8 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Caledonian 8 Heavy. Tower, all Nippon 6 Tree Heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Eastern 11 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Eastern 11 Heavy.
Looks so dirty on top, hey? Possibly it was because they had a different color, who knows? What's the matter with old Nippon? Are you finished? Nope, the tug is still pushing him. Having a few issues. Quite heavy, these aircrafts.
Ground, all Nippon 10 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Critter 9, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Critter 9er.
Delta 60 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Delta 60 Heavy.
Delta 60 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Delta 60 Heavy.
Olympic 6 Heavy, wind is 31 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. And we have
Runway
the
28 left
Caledonian arrival there in the back.
6 Heavy.
All Nippon 10 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, all Nippon 10 Heavy.
All Nippon 10 Heavy, runway 28 left via Golf Lima Foxtrot.
Runway 28 left by Golf Lima Foxtrot, all Nippon 10 Heavy.
All Nippon 10 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, all Nippon 10 Heavy.
Critter 62, runway 28 right, clear to land. Wind is 31 at 5 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land, Critter 62.
Ground, Hawaiian 12 Heavy request pushback.
Hawaiian 12 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Eastern 64 Heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Delta 7 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Hawaiian 12 Heavy.
Eastern 11 Heavy, runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Delta 7 Heavy. Unable taxi, will advise when ready, Eastern 11 Heavy.
Caledonian 6-1 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Ground, Eastern 11 Heavy, request taxi runway 28 left.
Caledonian 6-1 Heavy, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Caledonian 6-1 Heavy. Continue taxi, Caledonian 6-1 Heavy.
All Nippon 6-3 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 3-1 at 5 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land, all Nippon 6-3 Heavy.
Come on, Eastern. Olympic 6 Heavy, contact departure. Bye-bye.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Olympic 6 Heavy.
Delta 7 Heavy, wind is 3-1 at 5 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff, Delta 7 Heavy.
Caledonian 8 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait, Caledonian 8 Heavy.
Eastern 1-1 Heavy, runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot. Hope it's working now. Yes, it is.
Runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot, Eastern 11 Heavy.
Excellent. Eastern 1-1 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28
Delta's
left.
coming just
Eastern
down
11
there,
Heavy.
so hopefully they have enough room to get past each other, but it should be way enough. Critter 6-2, take next available exit on left.
Take next available exit on left, Critter 6-2.
That's
Ground,
good.
Jordanian 1-3 Heavy, request pushback.
Jordanian 1-3 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Hawaiian 6-5 Heavy, inbound runway 28 right. Ground, 28 left, pushback approved, Jordanian 1-3 Heavy.
Caledonian 8 Heavy, wind is 3-1 at 5 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Ground, Hawaiian 1-2 Heavy, request taxi runway 28 left.
Hawaiian 1-2 Heavy, continue taxi.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff, Caledonian 8 Heavy.
Hawaiian 1-2 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Hawaiian 1-2 Heavy. Hold short of runway 28 left, Hawaiian 1-2 Heavy.
Critter 9, runway 28 left, line up and wait. And we have our
Runway 28
next
left, line
arrival
up and
coming
wait.
in.
Critter 9er.
Eastern 6-4 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 3-1 at 5 knots.
Runway 28 right, cleared to land, Eastern 6-4 Heavy.
Delta 7 Heavy, contact departure.
Ground, Speedbird 1 Heavy, request pushback.
Critter 6-2 taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Contact departure, good day, Delta 7 Heavy.
Critter 6-2, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Critter 6-2.
Speedbird 1 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Critter 6-2. Ground, 28 left, pushback approved, Speedbird 1 Heavy.
Caledonian 8 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure,
We'll see
goodbye.
the next one. Oh,
Caledonian
look
8
at
Heavy.
this beautiful right-hand turn here. You can only see it at TP Gaming. Critter 9, wind is 3-1 at 5 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff, Critter 9er.
All Nippon 10 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Ground, Vehicle 14 request pushback. Runway 28 left, line up and wait, all Nippon 10 Heavy.
AirCal 14, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Jordanian 6-6 Heavy, inbound runway 28 right.
Ground, 28 left, pushback approved, Vehicle 14. Ground, Jordanian 1-3 Heavy, request taxi runway 28 left.
Jordanian 1-3 Heavy, continue taxi. We may
Continue
have
taxi,
to hold them in front
Jordanian
of
1-3
AirCal.
Heavy.
All Nippon 6-3 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, all Nippon 6-3 Heavy.
Hawaiian 6-5 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 30 at 5 knots.
Ground, Speedbird 1 Heavy, request taxi runway 28 left.
All Nippon, you're
Runway
holding?
28 right, clear to land.
Or you're moving?
Hawaiian 6-5 Heavy.
He is moving. I didn't even tell him to. Speedbird 1 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Speedbird 1 Heavy.
Have a look at this side, folks. When was the last time we were able to see that? All Nippon 10 Heavy, wind is 30 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, all Nippon 10 Heavy.
Critter 9 up, contact departure.
Contact departure.
He's doing
Good
his
day.
right-hand
Critter 9
turn immediately. Heading towards the direction where he wants to go. Jordanian 13 Heavy, hold short of taxiway Bravo 4.
Hold short of taxiway Bravo 4, Jordanian 13 Heavy.
Hawaiian 12 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Hawaiian 12 Heavy. Ground, Reno Air 15 request pushback.
Tower, Aircal 67 inbound runway 28 right.
Aircalf 14, continue taxi.
Unable taxi, will advise when ready, Aircal 14.
Reno Air 15, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, Aircal 14 request taxi runway 28 left.
Aircal 14, continue taxi.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Reno Air 15.
Aircal 14, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Aircal 14.
Jordanian 13 Heavy, continue taxi.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Aircal 14.
Royal Jordanian 13 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Jordanian 13 Heavy.
Speedbird 1 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Speedbird 1 Heavy.
Jordanian 66 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 30 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Jordanian 66 Heavy.
All Nippon 10 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure.
And
Good
he's
afternoon.
doing a
All
left-hand
Nippon 10
turn.
Heavy.
Look at this. Beautiful. Could be any closer. Hawaiian 12 Heavy, wind is 30 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Hawaiian 12 Heavy.
Eastern 11 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Eastern 11 Heavy.
And we have a Hawaiian arrival as well. And he's going to line up right behind Eastern. We'll get Eastern across in a couple of seconds. We're just got to get the other ones across first.
Ground, Qantas 16 request pushback.
Qantas 16 pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Reno Air 68 inbound runway 28 right. Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Qantas 16.
Eastern 64 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Eastern 64 Heavy.
Hawaiian 65 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Hawaiian 65 Heavy.
Eastern is moving across the runway. Let's see, just above, just on top of Hawaiian.
Reno Air 15 request taxi runway 28 left.
Look at these movements, folks. Do you like that? Wow. Can't get any closer than that. Reno 15, continue taxi. Reno Air 15, hold short of runway 28 left.
Say again, Reno Air 15.
Reno Air 15, continue taxi.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Reno Air 15.
Hawaiian 12 Heavy, contact departure.
Continue taxi, Reno Air 15.
Eastern 11 Heavy, wind is 30 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, Hawaiian 12 Heavy.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Eastern 11 Heavy.
AirCal 67, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 30 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, AirCal 67.
And Eastern on this
Ground,
journey.
7 request pushback.
Tower, Qantas 69er inbound runway 28 right.
Ground, Qantas 16 request taxi runway 28 left.
Here we go. We got Jordanian just behind him. And Eastern is taking a long way. Here we go. Off you go. And well done. Jordanian 66 heavy. Taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Jordanian 66 heavy.
Qantas 16, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Qantas 16.
Qantas 16, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Qantas 16.
Reno Air 68, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 298 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Reno Air 68.
Eastern 11 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Eastern 11 heavy.
AirCal 14, wind is 298 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, AirCal 14.
Port 17, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, port 17.
Skyworld, looks like I got the logo a little bit of the Pan Am, so I'm not sure, possibly this was a sister. Of course I could look it up, but then again, what do I have you experts for? You guys know it all. Jordanian 13 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait. And
Runway
look,
28 left line up and wait.
and when do you see
13
this? This movement
Ground,
here.
Western
Look,
18 request pushback.
see this
Tower,
connection?
port
Boak,
70 inbound runway 28
Jordanian,
right.
and AirCal. All in one view. Western 18, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Western 18.
And let's check out these two AirCals. Just behind each other. With a bit departure. There is the departure here right now. Wow. AirCal 67, taxi to terminal. AirCal 67, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal, AirCal 67. Taxi to terminal via Bravo, AirCal 67.
Qantas 69er runway 28 right, clear to land. Wind is 298 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land, Qantas 69er.
AirCal 14, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, AirCal 14.
How else are we doing? Jordanian 13 heavy, wind is 298 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Jordanian 13 heavy. Ground, Western 18 request taxi runway 28 left.
Yep, we'll get to you in a second.
Ground, Palm 19er request pushback.
Tower, Western 71 inbound runway 28 right.
Let's have a look at see another TriStar here. They need a lot of
Ground.
room.
Port 17 request taxi runway 28 left.
Aircal 67, hold position. Port 17, continue taxi. Port 17, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold position, AIRLINES 67. Continue taxi, Port 17. Hold short of runway 28 left, Port 17.
Western 18, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Western 18.
Reno Air 68, taxi to terminal via Bravo. Aircal 67, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Reno Air 68.
Speedbird 1 heavy, wind is 2984 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Continue taxi, AIRLINES 67.
Jordanian 13 heavy, contact departure.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Speedbird 1 heavy. Contact departure, good afternoon, Jordanian 13 heavy.
Port 70, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 2984 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Port 70.
Palm 19 pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Palm 19er.
Western 18, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Western 18.
Reno Air 15, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Reno Air 15.
Ground, Stinger 20 request pushback. Tower, Palm 72 inbound runway 28 right.
Reno Air 15 is moving up, that's
Say
good,
again.
all
Reno
good.
Air 15.
Yeah, just making sure all is good, all is good, all is very good. Reno Air 68, hold position.
Hold position, Reno Air 68.
Reno Air 15, wind is 2984 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Reno Air 15.
Qantas 16, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Qantas 16.
Stinger 20, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback
Stinger, of
approved.
course, is
Stinger 20.
East Wind Airlines. And they are riding on a 73M 737 mix configuration. Reno Air 68, continue taxi. Qantas 69 taxi to terminal.
Continue taxi, Reno Air 68.
Taxi to terminal, Qantas 69er.
Qantas 69 continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Qantas 69er.
Qantas 69 hold short of taxiway Charlie.
Ground, Palm 19er request taxi runway 28 left.
Palm 19 continue taxi.
Hold short of taxiway Charlie, Qantas 69er.
Palm 19 hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Palm 19er.
Speedbird 1 heavy, contact departure.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Palm 19er.
Western 71, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 28 at 4 knots.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Speedbird 1 heavy. Runway 28 right cleared to land.
Western 18, hold short of runway 28 left.
Ground, Aloha 21 request pushback.
Aloha 21, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Western 18.
Qantas 16, wind is 28 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Aloha 21. Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Qantas 16. Tower, Stinger 7 tree inbound runway 28 right. Ground, Stinger 20 request taxi runway 28 left.
Stinger 20, continue taxi. Stinger 20, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Stinger 20.
Port 70 taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Stinger 20. Taxi to terminal via Bravo, port 70.
Port 17, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait, port 17.
Reno Air 15, contact departure. Let's check out
Contact
Western's
departure.
arrival here.
Good afternoon, Reno Air 15.
There we go. Come on down. Palm 72, runway 28 right, clear to land. Wind is 28 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land, Palm 72.
Qantas 16, contact departure. Good flight.
Contact
How about
departure.
doing a right-hand
Good
turn
afternoon.
here for us?
Qantas 16.
Yeah, 45-degree angle here. Ooh-wee. Port 17, wind is 28 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Takeoff. Thank you.
Tower, Aloha 74 inbound runway 28 right.
Ground,
That
Aloha
work?
21 request taxi runway 28 left.
Port 17, wind is 28 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Here we go.
Runway 28 left. cleared
Western
for
18,
takeoff.
runway 28 left,
Port
line up and
17.
wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait, Western 18.
Still hope you guys enjoy. We got Western again. First the arrival, now the departure. Stinger 73, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 28 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land, Stinger 7 tree.
Western 71 taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Western 71.
Aloha! What's up with you? Are you ready? Aloha 21, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Aloha 21.
Aloha 21, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Aloha 21.
Stinger 17, contact departure. Oh, what am I saying? Port 17, contact departure.
Say again.
Yes,
Stinger
my
7
fault.
tree. Contact departure, good afternoon, port 17.
Western 18, wind is 28 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff, Western 18.
Stinger 20, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Stinger!
20.
Now I understand
Ground.
why the B in the back.
Heavy request pushback.
Ready to sting. I've got the sunnies on. Got the east wind, we've got the western, and we got the sister of east wind coming down. Western moving in there. Canadian 23 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Canadian 2 tree heavy.
This is a Boeing 767-300 that we are looking at. But who am I telling, eh, folks? You know it all. Palm 72, taxi to terminal via Bravo. Now we got our Florida.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Palm 72.
Air Florida at the moment. Western 18, contact departure.
Contact departure, goodbye, Western 18.
Don't tip too
Ground.
much, folks.
Speedbird 2 heavy request pushback.
Speedbird 2 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Speedbird 2 heavy.
Stinger 20, wind is 27 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Stinger 20.
Canadian 23 Heavy is finally being pushed. Ah, they had to wait for the... No, they didn't. The truck is coming, just going behind the back. Watch out, kerosene truck!
Lufthansa 24 Heavy request pushback.
They love it
Canadian
risky
76
here
Heavy
at
inbound,
San
runway
Francisco.
28 right.
Palm 19 runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Palm 19er.
Oh, let's check out the two east winds, one coming in, the other one leaving. We quickly will have to go to Aloha 74, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 27 at 4 knots. And now we can get
Runway
back to
28
business.
right, cleared to land. Aloha 74.
And we have the... There's this two Stingers.
Ground, Speedbird 2 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Here we go. Bang! There they are. Oh, look at the GA. It's chock-a-block as well. And look at the cargo area. Cargo areas is full as well. Palm 19er, wind is 27 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Palm 19er.
Speedbird 2 Heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, Canadian 23 Heavy request taxi runway
Speedbird
28
2
left.
Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Speedbird 2 Heavy.
Canadian 23 Heavy, continue taxi.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Speedbird 2 Heavy.
Canadian 23 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, Canadian 23 Heavy.
Lufthansa 24 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Canadian 23 Heavy.
Stinger 20, contact departure.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Lufthansa 24 Heavy.
Stinger 73, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Stinger 20. Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Stinger 73.
Ground, Air France 25 request
Aloha
pushback.
21, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Aloha 21.
Air France 25, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left. And this is our
Lufthansa 77
Concorde.
heavy inbound, runway 28 right.
Yay!
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Air France 25.
Aloha 74, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Aloha 74.
Canadian 23 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left. In case I haven't said.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Canadian 23 Heavy.
Palm 19er, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Palm 19er.
Canadian 76 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 27 at 4 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land, Canadian 76 Heavy.
Aircraft's moving about. Let's check our Aloha. Fresh from Hawaii. Aloha 21, wind is 27 at 4 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Aloha 21. Ground, Lufthansa 24 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Yeah, we'll worry about you in a couple of seconds. It's important for our viewers to check out the departure of Aloha Airlines. Hope the folks are still with me. Lufthansa 24 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Lufthansa 24 Heavy.
Look at these memories.
American
Lufthansa up
26
front,
request pushback.
and the Concorde being
Tower,
pushed in
Air
the back.
France 78 inbound runway 28 right.
Lufthansa 24 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Lufthansa 24 Heavy.
American 26 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left. Moving about
Ground, 28
into
left,
the
pushback
American.
approved.
There's quite a few
American 26
arrival
Heavy.
departures still happening from this terminal here. It looks like they had a big US party in here. Lots and lots and lots of people here for the celebration of all these aircrafts that are still going to be moving out. These are all going to still come, folks. Every one of these. They're all going to depart, and there's going to arrive as well. Aloha 21, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Aloha 21.
Air France 25, continue taxi. So our
Continue
Concorde
taxi.
is ready.
Air France 25.
We'll just lock it up. Air France 25, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Air France 25.
Lufthansa 77 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 27 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land. Lufthansa 77 Heavy.
Canadian 23 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Canadian 23 Heavy.
Everybody's moving about, that's good. So in case somebody does ask me every now and then what's my favorite aircraft, well, I guess it's got to be the Antonov or the Concorde. I think these two are somehow have the affinity of grabbing me.
Apple 27 request pushback.
Canadian 76 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Tower. American 79er Heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Apple 27, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Canadian 76 Heavy.
Oh,
Ground 28 left pushback.
First time
approved.
today.
Apple 27.
my computer is just
American
overwhelmed.
26 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Oh, we have an arrival of the Concorde as well, so that is pretty neat. American 26 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. American 26 Heavy.
American 26 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. American 26 Heavy.
Air France 25, hold short of taxiway Kilo.
Hold short of taxiway Kilo. Air France 25.
The Concorde needs to wait for New York Air. I think that is very important, folks. What do you say? Have a look at this view. We've got the arrival here on the left-hand side. You got the taxiing. This is amazing. Canadian 76 Heavy, hold short of taxiway Kilo. Canadian 76 Heavy, hold short of taxiway Kilo. There we go.
Unable to comply. Canadian 76
Canadian
Heavy.
23 Heavy, wind is 26 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Hold short of taxiway Kilo. Canadian 76 Heavy.
Air France 78, runway 28 right, cleared to land, wind is 26 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Canadian 23 Heavy.
So
Runway
how
28
about
right,
this
cleared
for
to
an
land.
action
Air
view,
France 78.
folks? Speedbird 2 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Speedbird 2 Heavy. Ground. Air Canada 28 Heavy request pushback. Tower. Apple 80 inbound runway 28 right.
Air Canada 28 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left. And Lufthansa coming here on the left-hand side.
Air Canada 28 Heavy.
Can I move back a little bit? Because then we would see that Canadian, he's going to get pushed back here. So Apple is really taking a lot of time here. And then we have the Concorde coming in here. Check it out, folks. Lufthansa 77 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
taxi to terminal via Bravo, Lufthansa 77 Heavy.
Wow, look at the Concorde coming in there in the back. And we've got traffic everywhere here. Brilliant. There's the Concorde. Lufthansa, Canadian. All happening here at the airport. All happening here at TP Gaming. Speedbird 2 Heavy, wind is 26 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Oh, look at him,
Runway
look at him,
28
here's the
left, cleared for
Canadian
takeoff.
moving in
Speedbird
front of
2
us.
heavy.
Ground.
Air Canada, that
47
is,
request
not
taxi
Canadian, Air
runway
Canada.
28
Oh, look at
left.
this. Where's the Concorde? There's the Concorde there in the back. We've got it all here. Action! Apple 27, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Apple 27.
Apple 27, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Apple 27.
Air France 25, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Air France 25.
And look at all these aircrafts here. And the departure of Speedbird, British Airways. Folks, this is just crazy. And there's the other Concorde just behind.
Which Air 29 a heavy request pushback.
In San
Air
Francisco.
Canada 81 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Here we go. Oh, look at
Ground.
all this
Air
action
Canada
here.
28 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Wow. Air Canada 28 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Air Canada 28 heavy.
Canadian 23 heavy, contact departure. Speedbird 2 heavy, contact departure. American 79 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 26 at 3 knots.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Canadian 23 heavy. Contact departure, good afternoon, Speedbird 2 heavy. Runway 28 right, clear to land.
Alright.
American 79
We'll come back
heavy.
to you in a second. Lufthansa 24 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait. Canadian 76 heavy, continue taxi.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Lufthansa 24 heavy.
Air France 78, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Continue taxi, Canadian 76 heavy. Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Air France 78.
Air Canada 28 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Air Canada 28 heavy.
Rich Air 29 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left. You know, Rich Air.
28 left pushback approved, Rich Air 29 a heavy.
Look at all this crazy action over here. Aircrafts moving about, taxiing about. Lufthansa, Concorde. Got another arrival in the back there. American coming in as well. This is what makes this game so wonderful. And a big thanks to Niagus Design just to give us that experience. Thank you very, very much.
Ground.
Lufthansa 24 heavy, wind is 26 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 24 heavy. Tower, Rich Air 82 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
American 79 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, American 79er heavy.
American 26 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, American 26 heavy.
KLM 30 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, KLM 30 heavy.
Apple 80, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 25 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Apple 80.
Now let's have a look at this view here. We got American, we got Apple. Of course we have the Concorde right behind, and another biggie with Air Canada behind that as well. So checking out, folks, we got so much action here. Hope you enjoy. Air Canada 81 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 25 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Air Canada 81 Heavy.
American 26 Heavy, wind is 25 at 3 knots. Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. American 26 Heavy.
And we've got the apple right next door. There's the apple. And we got the other apple right here. So let's check these sisters in. There you go. Apple 27, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Apple 27.
Lufthansa 24 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Lufthansa 24 Heavy.
And let's check our final views of this wonderful Concorde with the Lufthansa who just arrived.
Northeaster Tree 1 Heavy request pushback. Tower. KLM 8 Tree Heavy inbound runway 28 left.
American 79er Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. American 79er Heavy.
Ground. Rechair 29er Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Northeastern 31 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Northeaster Tree 1 Heavy.
Apple 80, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Apple 80.
American 26 Heavy, contact departure.
Ground. KLM Tree 0 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
KLM 30 Heavy, continue taxi.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. American 26 Heavy.
KLM 30 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi. KLM Tree 0 Heavy.
Rechair 29er Heavy, continue taxi.
Hold short of runway 28 left. KLM Tree 0 Heavy.
Rechair 29er Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi. Rechair 29er Heavy.
Apple 27, wind is 25 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Rechair 29er Heavy.
Air France 25, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Apple 27.
Rechair 2 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 25 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Air France 25.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Rechair 82 Heavy.
Apple 80, hold position.
Hold position. Apple 80.
Gotta wait for American to get past. I'm quite sure they'll be very, very helpful in doing that. Apple 80, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Apple 80.
Air Canada 81 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Air Canada 81 Heavy.
Ground. Air Tree 2 request pushback.
Kia 32, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Tower. Northeaster 84 Heavy inbound runway 28 right. Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Key Air Tree 2.
Apple 27, contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Apple 27.
KLM 30 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. KLM Tree 0 Heavy.
KLM 83 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 25 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. KLM 8 Tree Heavy.
Okay, and we will touch ourselves down to Air France 25, wind is 25 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Air France 25.
Ground. Northeaster Tree 1 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
There is Rich Air. And now he's faster than the other one. Getting the turbo going. And on our way to Charles de Gaulle eventually. We got the nose tipped. Wow, what a view, folks. For the last time, departure of the Concorde leaving San Francisco. Wow, folks. What an experience, hey? And let's see, once I give the OK. Air France 25, contact departure. See if we get it. Wow, here we got the turn to the left.
Air France 25.
Ground. Clipper tree heavy request pushback.
Oh, what a
Tower,
shame. It's all
Key Air 5
gone.
inbound runway 28
Hope you enjoyed
right.
that one, folks. Air Canada 28 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Air Canada 28 heavy.
Northeast at 31. Oh, American, where are you moving to? In there? Okay, that's just enough time. That should be just enough room.
Ground. Key Air Tree 2 request taxi runway 28 left.
Hope it's going to be enough. Better be enough. Turn left. That's the way to go. Good. Taxiing. Richard 8 to heavy. Taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Key West
Richard 8
32.
to
Continue
heavy.
taxi. Key West 32. Key Air 32. Continue taxi. That's better. Key Air 32. Hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi. Key Air Tree 2.
Air Canada 28 heavy. Wind is 2483 knots. Runway 28 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Key Air Tree 2.
Richard 29 heavy. Runway 28 left. Line up and wait.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Air Canada 28 heavy.
Northeast 8 for heavy. Runway 28 right. Clear to land. Wind is 2483 knots.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Rich Air 29 heavy.
Clipper 33 heavy. Pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Runway
There he
28 right
is.
cleared to land. Northeastern 84 heavy.
Our final.
Ground.
Oh,
28 left, pushback
just get
approved. Clipper tree heavy.
teary eyes when I see that. Pan Am. What an airline. What an airline.
Ground. T Air Tree 4 heavy request pushback.
Rich 8 to heavy. Continue taxi.
Tower. Speedbird 55 heavy inbound runway 28 right. Continue taxi. Rich Air 82 heavy.
KLM 83 heavy. Hold position.
Hold position. KLM 83 heavy.
Eastern 31 heavy. No, what am I saying? Where are you? Where are you? Northeast 31 heavy. Continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Northeastern Tree 1 heavy.
Northeast 31 heavy. Hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Northeastern Tree 1 heavy.
Air Canada 28 heavy. Contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Air Canada 28 heavy.
KLM 83 heavy. Taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. KLM 83 heavy.
Tier 3 for heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left. All the biggies are leaving now, folks.
Ground. 28 left.
Ranef
pushback
is
approved.
getting ready here as
T Air
well.
Tree
The
4
lights
heavy.
are on. Kia 85, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 2483 knots.
Runway 28 right, cleared to land. Key Air 85.
Tower. Clipper 86 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
And Pan Am arrival as well. Richard 29 heavy, wind is 2483 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Rich Air 29 heavy.
Northeast 8 for heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha. Got to fill
Taxi
things
to
up.
Terminal via Alpha. Northeastern 84 heavy.
KLM 30 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Ground. Clipper tree heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. KLM 30 heavy.
Clipper 33 heavy, runway 28 left via Mike to Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
Ground. Reap tree 5 request pushback.
Clipper 33 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot. Clipper tree heavy.
So we have Reeve
Hold short of runway 28
Aleutian
left.
Aleutian
Clipper tree
Airways. Reeve 35 pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Reeve tree 5.
Okay, you ready to move, folks? Northeastern. Can't see you moving at the moment. Northeastern. Come on. There we go. And KLM 30 heavy, wind is 243 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Ooh, and we have an arrival there as well.
Cleared for takeoff.
Oh, a little dirty down the bottom.
Tower, T-Air 87 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Richard 29 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Rich Air 29 heavy.
And there we are. 2 arrivals. Kia.
Ground, T-Air tree 4 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Tier 3-4 heavy. Actually, let's have a look and see how Richard is going. Richard is going in there, so we'll just let him go past. Speedbird 55 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 243 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Speedbird 55 heavy.
Northeast 8 for heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, northeast 84 heavy.
Kia 32, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Key Air tree 2.
KLM 30 heavy, contact departure.
Ground, Axis tree 6 request pushback.
Contact departure. Goodbye. KLM tree 0 heavy.
Okay, we'll just have to wait for Eastern to get a by. Okay, we could hold him there. Yeah, but we're not.
Tower, Reeve 88 inbound runway 28 right.
Kia 85, taxi to terminal. No, not yet. No. Oh,
Ground, Reeve tree 5 request taxi runway 28 left.
Reeve 35, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Reeve tree 5.
Reeve 35, hold short of runway 28 left. Short of runway 28 left. Got him. Tower Air 34 heavy, continue taxi. Not Tower
Hold
Air.
short of runway
T
28
Air
left.
34 heavy,
Reeve
continue
35.
taxi. T Air 34 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi, T Air tree 4 heavy. Hold short of runway 28 left, T Air tree 4 heavy.
Kia 32 wind is 243 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Key Air tree 2.
Clipper 86 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 243 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land, Clipper 86 heavy.
Access 36, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Axis tree 6.
Northeaster 31 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Northeaster tree 1 heavy.
Kia 85 taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Kia 85.
Speedbird 55 heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Ground. Cactus Tree 7 request pushback.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Speedbird 55 heavy. Tower, Axis 89er inbound runway 28 right.
America West is ready. Cactus 37 pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Cactus Tree 7.
Speedbird 55 heavy, hold short of taxiway Charlie.
Hold short of taxiway Charlie, Speedbird 55 heavy.
TI 87 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 23 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land.
So let's
T-Air
check
87
out
heavy.
the situation here. We have the 2 Pan Ams. Way to go. Just like the old days. What a sight. What a sight, folks. But not only at TP Gaming, you can require this as well. So it will be coming out very, very soon. So check it out and do yourself a favor and get yourself an airport running with aircrafts from back in the days. Northeaster 31 heavy, wind is 23 at 3 knots, runway 28 left cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Northeaster
Okay,
31 heavy.
I hope you guys got enough room here to push him back. Please continue pushing him back. You've got plenty of room. Come on, you can do it. And yes, indeed, he is. Excellent. Kia 32, contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Key Air Tree 2.
Reeve 35, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Reeve Tree 5. Ground.
And we
Access
have
Tree 6 request
Tower
taxi
Air
runway 28 left.
arriving in the back.
Ground. Wasatch Tree 8 request pushback.
Tower, Cactus 90 inbound runway 28 right.
What a wonderful job. Thank you very, very much. Nice job,
Ground,
folks.
Cactus Tree 7 request taxi runway 28 left.
Access Tree 6, runway 28 left. Access Tree 6. Oh, Access Tree 6, runway 28 left via Foxtrot.
Runway 28 left. Access Tree 6. Runway 28 left via Foxtrot. Access Tree 6.
Access Tree 6, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Access Tree 6.
Clipper 86 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Clipper 86 heavy.
Reeve 88, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 23 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land. Reeve 88.
Northeaster 31 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Northeaster Tree 1 heavy.
TA87 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. T Air 87 heavy.
Access 89, our runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 23 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land. Access 89er.
See that these two get past each other. And that has worked out splendidly. Kia 85, hold position.
Hold position, Kia 85.
Cactus 37, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Cactus Tree 7.
Cactus 37, hold short of taxiway 28 left.
Ground. Independent Tree 9er request pushback.
Cactus 37, hold short of runway 28 left. That's better.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Cactus Tree 7.
Reeve 35, wind is 23 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Reeve Tree 5.
Clipper 33 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Tower, Wasatch 91 inbound runway 28 right.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Clipper Tree heavy.
Cactus 90, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 23 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land.
Kia 85,
Cactus
continue
90.
taxi.
Continue taxi, Kia 85.
Speedbird 55 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Speedbird 55 heavy.
Independent 39er pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Independent Tree 9er.
Clipper 33 heavy, wind is 23 at 3 knots. Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Clipper Tree heavy.
Tier 3 for heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. T-Air Tree 4 heavy.
Wasatch 38 pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Wasatch Tree 8.
Reeve 88, taxi to terminal. Reeve 88.
Ground. Mark
Reeve
Air
88,
40,
taxi
request
to
pushback.
terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Reeve 88.
Tower, independent 9
Mark Air 40 pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left. Access 89er taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Mark Air 40. Taxi to terminal via
Reeve
Bravo.
35, contact
Access
departure.
89er.
Clipper 33 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Reeve Tree 5. Contact departure. Good afternoon. Clipper Tree heavy.
Over the mountains.
Ground. Independent Tree 9er request taxi runway 28 left.
Independent 39er, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Independent Tree 9er.
Wasatch 901, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 22 at 3 knots. So,
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Wasatch 901.
Wasatch is Morris Air. Tier 34 heavy, wind is 22 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. T-Air Tree 4 heavy.
Access 36, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Access Tree 6.
Wasatch 38, continue taxi.
Unable taxi. Will advise when ready. Wasatch Tree 8.
Okay.
Ground. Wasatch Tree 8 request taxi runway
Reeve
28
88,
left.
hold position.
Hold position.
Wasatch 38, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Wasatch Tree 8. Ground. Amtran 41 request pushback.
Independent 39er, continue taxi.
Tower. Mark Air 9er Tree inbound.
Independent
runway 28
39er, hold short of runway 28 left.
left. Continue taxi.
Mark Air
Independent
40, continue taxi. Mark Air 40, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Independent Tree 9er.
Access 36, wind is 22 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Unable taxi. Will advise when ready. Mark Air 40. Hold short of runway 28 left. Mark Air 40.
Cactus 37, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Access Tree 6.
Reeve 88, continue taxi.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Cactus Tree 7.
Continue taxi. Reeve 88. Ground. Mark Air 40 request taxi runway 28 left.
Mark Air 40, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Mark Air 40.
Mark Air 40, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mark Air 40.
Wasatch 38, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Wasatch Tree 8.
Cactus 90, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Cactus 90.
Tier 3 for heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. T-Air Tree 4 heavy.
Independent 902, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 22 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Independent 902.
Amtran 41 pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Amtran 41.
Cactus 37, wind is 22 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Cactus Tree 7.
Wasatch 901, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Ground. Braniff 42 heavy request
Oh.
pushback.
Braniff is getting ready.
Taxi to terminal
Access
via
36,
Alpha.
contact
Wasatch
departure.
901.
Tower, Amtran 904 inbound runway 28 right.
Brenner 42 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left. That is
Contact
another
departure.
beautiful
Goodbye.
airline here.
Access tree 6.
Oh,
Ground.
should have
28
said
left,
that.
Pushback approved.
Oh, what am I
Brandon
doing?
42 heavy.
Second time it's turning itself off. Let's turn it back on. Here we go. Oh, this is just fabulous. We're going to have an accident here. Oh no! Wow, what happened here? He just moved across here. This is an unfortunate bug that we have here. But we were very lucky. Wasatch 901, hold position.
Hold position, Wasatch 901.
Independent 39er, wind is 223 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway
Oh, look at those two independents.
Independent tree 9.
Yay! Brother and sister. Wasatch 38, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Wasatch tree 8.
Cactus 37, contact departure.
Ground. Amtran 41 request taxi runway 28 left.
Amtran 41, continue taxi.
Contact departure, goodbye, Cactus Tree 7.
Amtran 41, hold short of runway 28 left. Short of runway 28 left. Thank you.
Continue taxi. Amtran 41. Hold short of runway 28 left.
Ooh, that was
Amtran
lucky,
41.
folks. If that would have been a heavy one, we would have been gone.
Ground, Kiwi 4 tree request.
Wasatch
pushback.
901, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Wasatch 901.
Independent 902, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Tower, Braniff 905 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Independent 902.
Mark Air 903, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 22 at 3 knots.
Ground. Braniff 42 heavy request taxi runway 28 left. Runway 28 right clear to land. Mark Air 9er tree.
Brenner 42 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Braniff 42 heavy.
Brenner 42 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Braniff 42 heavy.
Independent 39er, contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Independent tree 9er.
Wasatch 38, wind is 22 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Wasatch tree 8.
Mark Air 40, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Mark Air 40.
Amtran 904, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 22 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land. Amtran 904.
So we got these two moving right next to each other here, folks. Oh, just a little bit to the left, here we go. So we got Kiwi, gonna move out in a second. And Independent is gonna go into this area up there. It's gonna do a left, a right, and a right hand turn. Got it all in our picture here. Kiwi 43, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Kiwi 4 tree.
Oops.
Ground. Molef 44
There we go.
request pushback.
Tower, Kiwi 906 inbound runway 28 right.
Wasatch 38, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Wasatch tree 8.
Mark Air 40, wind is 21 at 3 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. And it's time to get our
Runway
Malefs
28
out.
left cleared for takeoff. Mark Air 40.
Malef 44, pushback approved, expect runway.
Say again. Mark Air 40.
Malef 44, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left. Ooh, got a long way to go here, folks.
Ground.
Ooh, straight through
28
terminal.
left pushback approved. Molef 44.
Okay. Amtran 41, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Amtran 41.
Braniff 905 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 213 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land. Braniff 905 Heavy.
Mark Air 903, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Mark Air 903.
So we got a few more. Got 10 more arrivals and departures. Mark Air 40, contact departure. Can you please do a right-hand turn?
Departure.
Thank you
Good
very much.
afternoon. Mark Air 40.
Very nice. Amtran for 1, wind is 213 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Amtran 41.
Ground. Kiwi 4 tree request taxi runway 28 left.
Ground. Malef 45 request pushback. Tower. Malef 907 inbound runway 28 right.
Maybe we shouldn't stand behind it, eh? Kiwi 43, continue taxi.
Ground. Malef 44 request taxi runway
Kiwi
28
43, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Kiwi 4 tree.
Amtran 904, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Amtran 904.
Malef 44, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Malef 44.
Malef 45, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. Malef 45.
Amtran 41, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Amtran 41.
Kiwi 43, runway 28 left via Alpha Golf Lima Foxtrot.
Runway 28 left via Alpha Golf Lima Foxtrot. Kiwi 4 tree.
Kiwi 43, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Kiwi 4 tree.
Kiwi 906, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 213 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land. Kiwi 906.
Braniff 42 heavy, wind is 213 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. We're going to take a good look at this one
Runway 28
here.
left cleared for takeoff. Braniff 42 heavy.
This is a 747-100. Let's check it out here. Braniff International. And where's the brother or sister? There he is, just in the back there.
Ground. Malef 46 request pushback. Tower. Malef 908 inbound runway 28 right.
So we'll just check this departure here. Where the brother and sister is. We've got the mountains in the back, but they will easy get across there. And all of this, folks, can be yours as well.
Malef 45 request taxi runway 28 left.
And you can have a whole bunch of these Braniffs. Real color is coming out very soon. Braniff 905 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha Romeo. Braniff 905 heavy.
Malef 45, continue taxi. Malef 45, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Malef 45.
Malef 907, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 203 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. Malef 907.
Is Braniff actually holding short there on the runway? That'd be a new one. Braniff 905 heavy. Let's check you out. He is indeed. He really is sitting here. Amazing. Braniff 905 heavy. taxi to terminal via Alpha. That's probably why he didn't get the order.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Granite
Mile
niner
46
heavy.
pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Mile 46.
Mile 44 hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mile 44.
Mile 45 hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mile 45.
Runner 42 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Braniff 42 heavy.
Kiwi 906 taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Ground, Mile 47 heavy request pushback.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Kiwi 906.
Mile 47 heavy pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Mile 99er inbound runway 28 right. Ground, 28 left pushback approved. Mile 47 heavy.
Kiwi's going to go in there, so let's see if Kiwi's going to be fast enough to get ahead of Malef, who's coming in here, down there. He should be fast enough to just get across here and do a left-hand turn, so I don't need to stop him down there. Looks a lot closer down here, but we are going to be easy, going to be fine. Malef 98, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 20 at 3 knots. So we have a bit of Hungarian
Runway
here
28
happening
right,
at the
clear to
moment.
land. Mile 98.
So let's check these out. Check the Malef coming in. A bit of Budapest. Shout out to the Hungarians. Malef 46, continue taxi. But I think he's still taxiing, isn't he?
Unable taxi.
Yeah, I know
Full
you're not
advise
ready
when
yet.
Mile
Sorry.
46.
Sorry, buddy. Malef 45, hold short of runway 28 left. Malef 45, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mile 45. Ground, Mile 46 request taxi runway 28 left.
Malef 46, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Mile 46.
Malef 46, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mile 46.
Malef 907, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Ground, Mile 48 request pushback.
Malef 48, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Mile 907.
Wow.
28 left pushback.
Third time it's
Mile 48.
crashing.
Tower. Mile
Too much
00
Malefs
heavy
here.
inbound runway 28 right. Ground.
Way too much
Mile
Malefs.
47 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Kiwi 43, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Kiwi 43.
Malef 909, now runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 20 at 3 knots. Malef 909, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 20 at 3 knots. That's better.
Runway 28 right clear to
Malef
land.
907,
Mile 9er.
taxi to terminal via Bravo. Malef 907, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Mile 907.
Malef 47 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Mile 907. Continue taxi. Mile 47 heavy.
Malef 47 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mile 47 heavy.
Well, we have some Budapest here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Malefs taxiing about. And why not? We are an international crowd. Me being the German crowd. And we got Malef, 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 Malef. Kiwi 43, wind is 203 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Kiwi 43.
Malef 48, continue taxi. Are you
Ground.
ready?
Mile 48 request taxi
Very
runway
good.
28 left.
Malef 48, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi. Mile 48.
Okay.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Mile 48. Ground, Northwest 49er Heavy request pushback.
Northwest 49er Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Malef 101 inbound runway 28 right. Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Northwest 49er Heavy.
Malef 44, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Malef 44.
Malef 98, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Malef 9er 8.
We got them everywhere here. Goodbye, Kiwi. Malef 100 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 20 at 3 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land, Malef 100 heavy.
Kiwi 43, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, Kiwi 43.
Malef 47 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Malef 47 heavy.
We have our airport moving about, getting empty and getting filled up again. You still with me, folks? Malef 48, hold short of runway 28 left. Malef 48, runway. Malef 48, hold short of runway 28 left. That's better. Oh, are we lost of words or what? I'm all out of words. I'm so lost without the tower. Malef 48, hold short of runway 4 left. Not 1 left. Malef 48, hold short of runway 28 left. Oh, he's totally going crazy
hold
now.
short of runway 1 left, Malef 48. Ground, Southern 50 request pushback.
Malef 48, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Malef 48.
Southern 50, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left.
Tower, Northwest 102 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Northwestern 49er heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Southern 50.
Northwestern 49er heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Unable taxi.
Northwestern.
Will advise when
Oh,
ready.
he's not ready yet.
Northwest 49er heavy.
Okay. Malef 99er taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Hold short of taxiway Juliet, Northwest 49er heavy. Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Malef 9er.
Malef 101, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 20 at 3 knots.
Ground, Northwest 49er heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Northwest 49er heavy, continue taxi.
Runway 28 right clear to land, Malef 101. Continue taxi, Northwest 49er heavy.
Northwest 49er heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Hold short of runway 28 left, Northwest 49er heavy.
As a big thank you for supplying me with this real traffic and me being allowed to present it to you, I'm going to have all 5 Malefs sitting behind there to give gratitude, to show gratitude to Nigel's Design. Thank you very much. So your last aircraft is slowly coming up down the lane, and then we'll have all 5 of these sitting close towards each other. Look how close he is with the wings above the ground. This, of course, is a Tupolev TU-154.
Tower, Southern 103 inbound runway 28 right.
Transmeridian 51 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 28 left. Malef 100 heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo. Malef 100 heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved, Transmeridian 51 heavy.
Southern 50, continue taxi.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo, Malef 100 heavy.
Southern 50, hold short of runway 28 left.
Unable taxi, will advise when ready, Southern 50.
Oh, Southern is not ready yet.
Hold short of runway 28 left.
Okay,
Southern
folks.
50. Ground, Southern 50 request taxi runway 28 left.
There you go, Nigel's Design. Something that you would only see in Budapest. 80s, 90s, somewhat. There you go, looking down at your work. And we got another arrival coming up the back. There we go, another Malif. Woo, 5 Malifs in one view in San Francisco. Okie dokie. Northwestern 102 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 19 at 2 knots.
Runway 28 right, clear to land.
Okay,
Northwest
Malif
102.
48 has finally arrived. And here we are, here they all are. So let's check it out and get the final view here. And stop being right here. And here we go. There they are, all 5 of them. Let's get them all on their way home. Malif 44, wind is 19 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Malif 45, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Malef 44.
Southern 50, continue taxi.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Malef 45.
Southern 50, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi. Southern 50. Hold short of runway 28 left.
Transmeridian
Southern
51
50.
heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, TWA 52 heavy request pushback.
Transmeridian 51 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Unable taxi. Will advise when ready. Transmeridian 51 heavy.
Oh,
Hold short of runway 28
TWA
left.
52 heavy,
Transmeridian
pushback
51
approved,
heavy.
expect runway 28 left.
Ground, 28 left pushback approved. TWA 52 heavy.
Southern 103, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 19 at 2 knots.
Tower. Transmeridian
Malif
104 heavy
45,
inbound runway
wind
28
is
right.
19 at 2 knots, runway 28 left.
Runway 28 right, clear
Malif
to land.
45,
Southern 10
wind is 19 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28
Malif
left, cleared for
46,
takeoff.
runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Malef 46.
Malif 44, contact departure.
Ground. Transmeridian 51 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
Southern 50 is moving, he's good. Malif 44, contact departure.
Contact departure.
Northwestern
Good
102
afternoon.
heavy,
Malef
exit on
44.
taxiway Tango.
Exit at taxiway Tango. Northwest 102 heavy.
So TWA, what's happening? Are you moving? A little bit. You're doing twisting and turning and donutting. Malif 46, wind is 19 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Malif 46, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Malef 46.
Malif 47, runway 28 left, line up and wait. Malif 47 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Unable to comply. Malef 47 heavy.
Northwestern 102 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Runway 28 left, line up and wait. Malef 47 heavy.
Malif 45, contact departure.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Northwest 102 heavy.
Transmeridian 104 heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 19 at 2 knots.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Malef 45. Runway 28 right clear to land. Transmeridian 104 heavy. Ground. US Air 5 Tree heavy request pushback. Tower. TWA 105 heavy inbound runway 28 right.
TWA 52 heavy, continue taxi.
Ground, TWA 52 heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
TWA 52 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left.
Continue taxi.
Transmeridian
TWA
51 heavy, hold short.
Hold short of
Transmeridian
runway
51
28
heavy,
left.
continue
TWA
taxi.
52 heavy.
Transmeridian 51 heavy, hold short of runway 28 left. Malif 47 heavy, wind is 19 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Say again.
Malif
Transmeridian
48,
51
runway 28 left. Line up and wait. Malif 48, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Continue taxi. Transmeridian 51 heavy.
Malif 46, contact departure.
Hold short of runway 28 left. Transmeridian 51 Heavy.
US Air 53 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 28 left.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Malef 47 Heavy. Runway 28 left line up and wait. Malef 48.
Malef 101, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Contact departure. Good afternoon.
Northwestern
Malef
102
46.
Heavy, continue taxi.
Ground. 28 left pushback approved. US Air 53 Heavy. Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Malef 101. Continue taxi. Northwest 102 Heavy.
Tower, US Air 106 Heavy inbound runway 28 right.
Okay, and these are our last two. US Air will be our last departure and arrival. And then we got it, folks. Malef 47 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Malef 47 Heavy.
Alrighty. Malef 48, wind is 18 at 2 knots, runway 28 left. Malef 48, runway 28 left. Cleared for takeoff. Weird.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Malef 48.
Northwestern 49er Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. Northwest 49er Heavy.
TWA 105 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 18 at 2 knots. And we're
Runway
past the
28
2
right,
hour
clear to
mark
land.
now.
TWA 105
But we'll
Heavy.
get things down. Southern 103. He's just going to go in there, so we'll just wait him, let him wait there for a little while. Should be good in a couple of seconds. Northwestern 49er Heavy, wind is 18 at 2 knots, runway 18 left, 28 left. Northwestern 49er Heavy, wind is 18 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff. Now we got him.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Northwest 49er Heavy.
Southern 50, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Tower. Speedbird 56 inbound runway 28 right. Runway 28 left line up and wait. Southern 50.
Malef 48, contact departure.
Ground. US Air 53 Heavy request taxi runway 28 left.
US Air 53 Heavy, runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Malef 48.
Not again.
Runway 28 left via Mike 2 Alpha Lima Foxtrot.
Sixth
US Air
time.
53 Heavy.
Come on. US Air 53 Heavy, hold short of runway 28 left. Southern 103, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Hold short of runway 28 left. US Air 53 Heavy.
Transmeridian 103, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal
Transmeridian
via
104
Southern
Heavy,
103.
taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Say again. Transmeridian 104 Heavy.
Northwestern 49er Heavy, contact departure.
Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Transmeridian 104 Heavy.
Transmeridian 104 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Northwest 49er Heavy. Taxi to terminal via Bravo. Transmeridian 104 Heavy.
Now he's got it. US Air 106 Heavy, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 18 at 2 knots.
Runway 28 right cleared to land. US Air 106 Heavy.
US Air. That's nice. US Air. It used to be US Air, but they're US Air now. Southern 50, wind is 18 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. Southern 50.
TWA 52 Heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait. TWA 52 Heavy.
And of course, we're not going to finish this line up of classic ones with the arrival of the Concorde. We started with the Concorde. We will finish with the Concorde. I think that sounds pretty good to me. TWA 105 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, TWA 105 heavy.
Speedbird 56, runway 28 right, clear to land, wind is 18 at 2 knots.
Runway 28 right clear to land, Speedbird 56.
Wow. Wow. Transworld didn't stop. Wow. Southern 50, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Southern 50.
TWA 52 heavy, wind is 18 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff. TWA 52 heavy.
Transmeridian 51 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Runway 28 left line up and wait, Transmeridian 51 heavy.
And we have our US Air arrival. There we go. One coming, one going. There he is. And we have our last arrival of the Concorde. Let's have a look around the right hand side. Can we see her yet? Not yet, not yet. Transmeridian 51 heavy, wind is 18 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, Transmeridian 51 heavy.
Okay, and where's the Concorde? Can't see her yet. Where is he? Somewhere down there. Oh, there he is. There she is. Transworld, no. TWA 52 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. TWA 52 heavy.
USA 106 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, USA 106 heavy.
USA 106 heavy, hold short of taxiway Lima. USA 53 heavy, runway 28 left, line up and wait.
Hold short of taxi
And
Lima,
let's
106 heavy.
quickly jump
Runway
over
28 left line up
to
and wait,
arrival
US Air 53
of our
heavy.
Concorde. Nose down. And there she is. Quickly turn these off to enjoy San Francisco and the mountains in the back. The Bay Area. Oh, look at the other aircraft at the top there. Excellent. Really nice. Turning around, twisting around. And there she is. Very beautiful. And there is our final arrival for the day. The Concorde. Speedbird 56 taxi to terminal via Bravo.
Taxi to terminal via
Speedbird
Bravo,
56, hold short of
Speedbird
taxiway
56.
Charlie.
Hold short of taxiway Charlie, Speedbird 56.
And then you have our final departure, US Air in the back here. So we pretty much cleared everything. It's getting empty here at the airport. Transmeridian 51 heavy, contact departure. US Air 53 heavy, wind is 17 at 2 knots, runway 28 left, cleared for takeoff.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Transmeridian 51 heavy. Runway 28 left cleared for takeoff, US Air 53 heavy.
You folks like the Concorde as well? I hope you do. So unfortunately we did not get Ansett Airways down on the ground because we did miss one heavy spot on the ground here. we just don't have any more heavy spots. That's the unfortunate part. We couldn't get them down. But we got everybody up and everybody down. So Australia was only with us through Qantas today. So we'll have to definitely get Ansett Airways, a domestic aircraft in Australia in the 80s. Very, very nice. Trans-Australian, TAA, Trans-Australian Airways. I think it was Trans-Australian Airways or Airlines, I'm not sure. They used to be there as well, unfortunately not in this pack. But you have 53 different livery models. British Airways has 3, Malef has 5, everybody else has 1. So yeah, what do we got? We got 4, 5, 6 left, 47. So we have 47 different airlines with a livery. So this is just amazing. I mean, you know, that's very, very nice. Thank you very much for all those people who've worked on it in the forums and who've done some testing. Eli has done some testing for Niagar's design as well and helped them heaps, and in the end Niagar's design made this possible. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have. I certainly have. That certainly will give me more opportunities to give us more opportunities to check the to just make the airports a little more interesting. So I think that's going to be really, really nice. US Air 53 Heavy, contact departure. US Air 53 Heavy, contact departure. And he's gone.
Contact departure. Good afternoon.
And then
US
we
Air
have
53 Heavy.
Concorde coming in here. He's going to move into this position just like his brother or sister did 2 hours ago, folks. I believe we're now at 211. 212 it's going to be. 215. Somewhere towards the end. So I would like to say thank you very, very much if you have watched this all along. If you've just tuned in to hear my last words, well, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, please like, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down below, and there will be more to come, folks. Until the next time, this has been a presentation of TP Gaming. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.